trusted news source, ABC6 News at Noon.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us this noontime. We start with the weather on this really beautiful Monday afternoon. Would you look at that view from our sky cam, showing just a really nice, clear day. Bill Guile is in for Chelsea today. He has your first forecast. Hi, Bill.
Good afternoon, Doreen. Good afternoon, everyone. Yeah, indeed, this is shaping up to be a beauty for sure after what we just went through with all that wind and chilly temperatures over the weekend. And yeah, with all that sunshine right now, look at these numbers. We're already into the mid-60s, mid-70s in Providence. 69 still in Coventry. They're trying to catch up to the rest of us. But yeah, this is going to be a delightful day. Here's a look at the satellite and the radar imagery. It's really hard to find any clouds across the region. It's just those little few cloud puffs here and there. That's about it. So planning out your next several hours, taking you into the evening. Things are looking beautiful all afternoon and right through the evening hours. We'll see highs topping off in the upper 70s. Nice, comfortable air. And yeah, if you got any outdoor plans for dining tonight, things will be just fine. Looking for that high of 77 this afternoon, light northwesterly winds. Then overnight tonight, mainly clear, not quite as cool, and still quite comfortable. And oh, by the way, do you know what tomorrow is? It's the first day of summer. Officially begins at 5:13 in the morning, and the daytime is going to look just as nice as today with highs in the 70s. Your forecast details are coming up in a little bit. Doreen?
All right, Bill, love that graphic. Thank you. Now to our continuing coverage of the coronavirus, and thousands of vaccines are coming to Rhode Island after the FDA granted emergency use authorization to Moderna and Pfizer for children under 5 years old. This expansion now makes vaccines available for all American citizens. ABC6 News reporter Yanni Trigelis is in the newsroom. He has more on when and how many doses are coming to the Ocean State. Yanni?
Yeah, Doreen, the Department of Health tells me nearly 21,000 doses of Pfizer and Moderna vaccines will be coming to Rhode Island this week. This is after the FDA granted the emergency use authorization of vaccines for kids as young as 6 months old. The first order of vaccines for children under 5 years old set to arrive this week in Rhode Island. 20,800 doses in total being made available, the maximum amount for Rhode Island's population. Across the country, about 18 million kids now eligible to get vaccinated, meaning every American citizen can now receive a COVID shot.
This is an incredibly important moment. I mean, obviously for the parents of kids under 5, it's the moment they have been waiting for. But for all of us, this is the last group of Americans who have not yet been eligible.
Moderna's under 5 vaccine, a 2-dose shot, administered 1 month apart. And for Pfizer, the first two coming 3 weeks apart, with a third dose 8 weeks later. The FDA says trials in children under 5 showed the immune response of children was comparable to the immune response of adults. However, parents split down the line on if they will give their little ones the COVID vaccines, with some saying no way will they give their 2-year-old the vaccine, while other parents say their children will be getting vaccinated. Dr. Jha with a message for parents who may be questioning whether to give their children the vaccine.
Look at the evidence, look at the data, and talk to the doctor who takes care of your child. Talk to the pediatrician, talk to the family physician.
Vaccines in the Ocean State arriving later this week, although the DOH says most shots will start being administered next week. In Massachusetts, Governor Charlie Baker announcing doses of Pfizer and Moderna will be available starting Tuesday at more than 400 vaccine locations. And I'm told the state will place another order of Pfizer and Moderna vaccines for children the last week of June. But there has been some hesitancy by parents with vaccinating young children in other age groups. Since children ages 5 to 11 were authorized, less than 35% of American kids have received the vaccine. In the newsroom, Yanni Trigelis, ABC6 News.
All right, Yanni, thank you. And now to developing news from the Newport to Bermuda race. A captain for one of the boats has died after going overboard on the race course. More than 190 boats left Newport Friday for the 600-mile journey to Bermuda. Race organizers say Colin Golder of New Jersey went overboard in strong winds about 325 miles from Bermuda on Sunday. Goldner was an experienced offshore sailor, and according to the race team, he'd completed this race 10 times before. Providence police investigating after shots were fired on Florence Street just after midnight. Officers were canvassing the neighborhood looking for surveillance footage from nearby homes. Providence police say no arrests have been made yet. And this follows several shooting incidents Saturday night into Sunday. One victim telling police he was shot in the back near Sassafras and Broad Streets. Another told police he was shot while walking on Cortlandt Street. And a third victim was shot outside McCormick's Pub on Vesey Street after an argument outside the pub. And there was gun violence across the country this weekend. Deadly gunfire in D.C. at a Juneteenth festival. And in New York, 9 people shot, one of them killed in Harlem at a gathering. All of this happening as a bipartisan group of senators continue working on the final text of the bill on gun reform on Capitol Hill. ABC's Rena Roy has the latest.
Panic erupting in the nation's capital when gunfire broke out at a packed Juneteenth concert and festival.
No, that is straight up gunshots.
Police say the unauthorized event was being shut down after a series of fights and issues with the massive crowd, but around 8:30 in the evening, a gunman began firing. Police say a 15-year-old was killed and 3 others were injured, including a police officer.
With guns involved and with our police managing a crowd on site, somebody used a gun and a child is dead.
Other people hurt after being trampled while trying to leave the area. Officials say multiple guns were recovered, but the suspect in the gun used in the shooting nowhere to be found. And in New York City's Harlem neighborhood, 9 people shot at a gathering. The victims' ages range from 41 to 21, a 21-year-old man dying from his gunshot wounds. So far, nobody has been arrested.
The reality is something has to give. The lawmakers, the gun makers, law enforcement, and the community themselves. Everyone has to be accountable, right? And if we all are accountable to ourselves, we can sleep at night.
All of this as a bipartisan group of 20 senators continue their negotiations on gun reform, working to turn a framework of provisions into law.
Those senators are working on drafting a number of proposals, including strengthened background checks, restrictions for convicted abusers, school security, and mental health programs. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
And today is the first time that Juneteenth is getting a full observance. It's observed today since it fell on a Sunday yesterday. Last year it became a federal holiday at the last minute on June 17th with little time for widespread celebration. The holiday commemorates when Union Army General Gordon Granger arrived in Galveston, Texas to announce that enslaved people had been liberated. That was 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation.
The discussion and information and history about slavery has not been at the center point of America's story.
The 19th of June, 1865. And oh, was that a day to be remembered.
Today, U.S. post offices are closed. The New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ don't have active trading hours. And most federal offices and schools are shut down, and so is the Federal Reserve, along with most banks. Well, still to come here on ABC6 News at noon. Frustrated travelers across the country as more than 8,000 flights are delayed and canceled. Those gas prices going down. A look at the slight dip in the average cost today. And later, how much would you pay for lunch with Warren Buffett? The crazy amount an anonymous bidder is paying to dine. Now to the travel nightmare. With so many flight delays and cancellations over the weekend, just ahead of the busy July 4th holiday, ABC's Gio Benitez has the details.
Over the weekend, a slew of cancellations and delays just as people try to travel for Father's Day weekend.
It's just been like nonstop cancellations. It's just kind of sucks that we can't, we're not going to see them at all today.
And we all looked at each other and cried.
Mackenzie Roberts says 2 flight cancellations led to her missing a slew of celebrations, including a family wedding.
It said 10 minutes till departure, and then not even 30 seconds later, it all went red and then went canceled.
The travel chaos happening just as Secretary of Transportation Pete Buttigieg reveals the U.S. may take action against airlines on behalf of customers. Buttigieg telling the AP Sunday that his own flight was canceled and, quote, that is happening to a lot of people. And that is exactly why we are paying close attention here to what can be done and how to make sure that the airlines are delivering. Buttigieg met with executives from the airlines last week to raise the issue. Industry analysts say weather caused most of the issues, but airline staffing shortages and soaring demand only make it worse.
I think that these problems will last into the early winter, possibly even into the middle of next year, because it just takes airlines time to hire and train critical employees like pilots. So what does this mean? The summer of 2022 is going to be travel hell.
And that summer is already looking exceptionally busy. Travel for the 4th of July may be the busiest yet. And so far today, just about 100 flights canceled. Not too bad. That's a lot better than the past few days. But remember that all of those people who couldn't get on flights this weekend will be trying to get on those new flights today. Gio Benitez, ABC News, New York.
Well, coming up, a big job fair happening right now. Where to head with your resume ready. And we'll check back in with Bill Guile for a look at your full 7-day forecast right after this. In consumer news, gas prices are averaging below $5 a gallon in Rhode Island today. AAA says the average for regular is $4.97. That's down from $5.02 a week ago. And a week ago, the average was at, again, $5.02. This is the first time gas prices have fallen in 9 weeks. The national average is $4.98. In Mass, they hover at that $5 a gallon mark. ABC6 wants to help you pay less at the pump. You can find the lowest gas prices in your area on our Southern New England gas tracker. tracker. Just head to our website, abc6.com. You can find it under the Community tab. If you're looking for a job, leave your schedule open for the day for a hiring fair at Patriot Place. It's happening right now until 4 o'clock in Foxborough. Bring your resume, and participating venues will have a hiring agent to speak to on site. There are full-time, part-time, and seasonal opportunities available at over 15 businesses. Well, it is a first for Apple employees. Workers at a store in Towson, Maryland have voted to unionize. It is the first of Apple's 270 U.S. stores to do so. Union leaders say workers at about 10% of Apple's locations have expressed interest in unionizing. Walmart and Roku are joining forces on so-called shoppable ads. That means you can buy items directly from an ad on your TV. Viewers can simply press OK on their remote, proceed to checkout, and pay. No need to switch to your phone or computer to make a purchase.
Good afternoon, everyone. What a terrific day we are seeing outside right now. Lots of sunshine, temperatures up to 74 degrees, very dry, comfortable air. Dew points are in the 40s. We've seen a lot of that through most of the spring. And the wind, yeah, we're not having to really contend with that blustery wind like we did over the weekend, where gusts were going to 30, 35, even some 40-mile-per-hour gusts. Right now, 10. That's all we got, and most of the region is below that. So it's a light northwesterly breeze throughout the area, and temperatures, you can see how well they're doing right now. Everybody's enjoying the lower half of the 70s at this hour. We're heading to the upper 70s during the course of the afternoon, but widening out. We do find some heat as you move out to the Midwest. Chicago's at 85 degrees, Green Bay up to 86, Minneapolis, we're not showing any numbers here, but they're already near 90 degrees up towards that area, and they are heading into the low 100s this afternoon, and we're talking about a lot of humidity out there as well. Once you cross that 60-degree dew point, that's where things start to become rather sticky. And we'll finally notice that as we head towards the upcoming weekend, but until then, we're going to be looking at some nice, delightful air with our dew points holding in the 40s. They'll creep up to the 50s as we go through the midweek stretch. But yeah, we won't notice any 60-degree dew points until we get to the weekend. So what's causing that? Well, high pressure that is down to our southwest and low pressure that's off to our east. That's what gave us all that wind during the course of the weekend. Finally, that's moved away just enough now that we're seeing the less wind here. But look at how clear these skies are across the region. That's the way it's going to stay throughout the day today. Just a few high clouds around. Tomorrow, first day of summer, we'll do it all over again. Any rain showers, they'll pretty much be confined to the Hudson River Valley. I think we'll stay dry all day long on Tuesday. Wednesday, maybe a shower around as this warm front finally draws closer to us. But then we're going to see things kind of stall out just a little bit. So that means in the Thursday, there's still another threat of some showers that are going to be around before we can start the warm-up process. But here's the closer look for you, how this plays out for today. It's a beauty. Highs mid and upper 70s region-wide with lots of sunshine. Overnight tonight, nice and pleasant. Lows in the 50s. Not quite as cool as last night. And then for tomorrow, again, bright sunshine in the morning. Summer gets underway at 5:13 in the morning. During the afternoon, just a few of those high clouds coming in. A little more so than today, but still, temperatures pretty close to where they are going to be for today. And tomorrow night, a little bit milder still, mostly into the 50s. Scattered shower around Wednesday morning, but I think we see some sunshine for the afternoon. Temperatures still holding steady, and then more showers threatening for Thursday. And that's how the extended outlook shapes up. And then once we're past all that, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, our highs are going into the low and mid 80s, and you will notice some of those summer muggies finally creeping into the region. Tareen?
All right, Bill, thank you. Well, next at noon, salt in the wounds of Celtics fans as the Warriors get ready for their championship parade today. And we'll take a look at the weekend box office. Did the Dinos, Maverick, or Buzz Lightyear take the top title? Celtics fans, you might want to look away because there will be a celebration in the streets of San Francisco today as the Golden State Warriors and their fans mark another NBA championship. A parade will go through the city, including the players, coaches, and former team members. This is the Warriors' fourth title in recent years. The team also won the championship in 2015, 2017, and 2018. They, of course, beat the Celtics in Game 6 last Thursday in Boston. Well, legendary investor Warren Buffett's annual auction for lunch just went for a record-breaking price of $19 million. The bidder is remaining anonymous, but whoever it is gets to have a private steak lunch with Buffett and up to 7 guests at Smith & Wollensky Steakhouse in New York City. The money all goes to charity. A not-so-big blast-off for Disney Pixar's animated Lightyear. The Toy Story spin-off debuted in second with $51 million, far short of the expected $70 to $80 million. Jurassic World Dominion holds first for a second week, though ticket sales did tumble 60%. And Top Gun Maverick slides into third place with a 3-week total domestic gross of $466 million. One of Jeopardy's hosts won't be reading clues for a little while. Mayim Bialik announced on Twitter that she's tested positive for coronavirus. Bialik is one of the main Jeopardy hosts now after the short-lived tenure of former EP Mike Richards. Ken Jennings also appears frequently, but no permanent host has been named. And no mystery here, it just sold out really, really quickly. Airbnb and Warner Brothers offered an overnight stay in the Mystery Machine from the Scooby-Doo live-action film, and it sold out within minutes. The idea was to celebrate the 20-year anniversary of the movie's release. The iconic van will be parked on the Malibu coast in Southern California for 3 one-night stays starting on Friday. Well, still ahead here at noon, a Chicago area zoo welcomes a new baby. Do you know what animal this little one is? We'll tell you when we come back. Plus, Bill has another look at your afternoon forecast right after this. Well, the Brookfield Zoo near Chicago has welcomed a new baby, a short-beaked echidna, also known as a puggle. Echidnas are one of only 2 mammal species, the other being the duck-billed platypus, that lay eggs. The baby hatched sometime between the 2nd and 5th of March and is currently in this nest box where it's being fed by Waddles, its 47-year-old mother. And I had asked, leading up to the story, Bill, if people knew what kind of animal it was. And apparently, if you are a fan of Sonic the Hedgehog, you knew that its Knuckles is an echidna. So there you go. So a lot of people probably did know the answer to that question.
I guess so, yeah.
I should have asked the kids.
Exactly.
They would have known from Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah.
Well, this is going to be a nice little stretch of weather for today and tomorrow. If you're going to be out and about, maybe you're going to be walking your dog or anything like that, just outdoors, enjoying the weather, fine conditions, nice comfortable air today, tomorrow. Summer begins officially tomorrow morning. It won't really start heating up, though, until we get towards next weekend. So we have to get through a couple of showers. There'll be one or two around Wednesday, especially Wednesday night and into Thursday morning, and then another one Thursday afternoon. I'm not looking at a complete washout, but just the threat of some scattered showers, which we really do need the rain. And then, of course, we start to get into some 80s and the humidity coming back by the weekend.
All right, what a way to start summer. Bill, thank you so much, and thank you for joining us for the news at noon. The news continues first at 4. Have a great afternoon, everybody.